everybody. This is Ken for the Information Nation, and we're bringing you more stuff. That's right, we're going to bring you some more stuff today. We got a review for you. I think you'll find this one interesting. I don't know if anybody has seen this before, but it's called the STL Wolf by Kimsun. It's kind of an interesting device. It really is. The STL stands straight to lung. I've been using it for a few days, and I'm finding it quite enjoyable. It has their version of temperature control, which we'll get into in a little bit. And as a matter of fact, let's visit their website. I'll show you their website. I'll show you what they're talking about with their temperature control. So here we go to their website. Okay, here we are at their website. It's kind of a it's a very nice website. I've got to give them that. Got the little rotating stuff on the first page. Shows you some of their different stuff. They have a verify center, so when you get your Kimsun in the mail, you can verify. You can do a scratch and check. And they have what they call Chris. And let's take a look at that. Here's what Chris is. Recently, Kimry, the largest e-cigarette manufacturer worldwide, announced the successful development of Chris vaporizer control system. The system will significantly shorten the time from start to operating temperature, with efficiency increased 300%. The speed heating system will change the vaporizer industry structure, and e-cigarette industry will be more intelligent and more human. Chris' core advantage is a strong temperature control module let's take a look at this here. They say the old way it took 3 seconds to go from pushing the button to getting to your full temperature. And under the Chris system, it shortens the time to 1 second, goes from here straight up, and it's nice flat line on it. These are their numbers. Now, they have joined forces with companies like Texas Instruments, Alpha and Omega Semiconductor, and ST Microelectronics to design this stuff. And it does seem to work fairly well. We'll get into that when we do an up close and personal on this. Also part of their website, here you see the ST Wolf temperature control for $29. That includes the battery and your excuse me, and your tank. And when you buy the kit, what the kit comes with, let's take a look at, let's scroll down a little bit. That's what it looks like when you get it. And what you get is you get the STL Wolf battery, a C-Tank Plus with a 2 ohm coil in there, 0.2 ohm. You also get an extra 0.2 ohm coil. You get a micro USB cable, and you get a user's manual. The downside that I see on their tank, this is just me, is it only holds 2 mil. But then again, it is a small device. And we'll get into that a little bit in the close-up. It's a little bit of a pain to fill and know where your juice level is at due to the fact of this small window right here. We've seen that before. Let's go back up. Right here you can see it. It's just a slot. And unless you're using a dark juice, you really can't see where your juice level is at. But that's where the temperature control comes in. And we'll talk about that. So why don't we do this? Let's get out of here and let's get up close and personal with the Kimsun STL Wolf. Okay, here we go. This is the packaging it came in. See, it's got a little scratch and sniff on the backside. Nice plastic box. STL Wolf. Temperature control. Now here's the device. If I can get it out of there. There we go. There's the device. Now, this device, from end to end, from here to here, is just under 4.5 inches. That's a small device. And from here, without the drip tip, or without your without your drip tip, you're looking at 3.9 inches, and it's 3/4 of an inch in diameter. That is a very small device. I mean, look at that. You can hide that critter right in your hand. Inside the box, let's see what you get. You get the USB cable. You get an extra coil. You get somewhat of a manual. And you get how to prime your coils. But that's not what you're interested in. So let us move on here. Get that. Cover this. And we can take this and put it off to the side. This is what you're interested in seeing. It's 5 clicks on. All right, there we go. It has a very nice wide slot, which moves very nicely. It has a positive pin stop, so you can only turn it that far. When you want to take this off, it just unscrews. Very simple. It's a very simple device. There's your battery. I mean, you can see how small that is. The coil, normal bottom fill. There's your coil. Now, I've used this, and I've taken and drained this tank down to 0. And what it does, it seems to cut back on the amount of power, and you can tell that you're out of juice. But if you look at the inside here, this is what I don't like. You see this wide bore that they have in here. Let me see if I can find something to point with. Yeah, this will work. You can see how they have this wide bore right here. You got very little room. You need either a syringe or you need a, well, let's see what we got here. Here we got some Good Life juice, Deadly Sin. That's some pretty good. Well, you need a very small needle to get in here. And then you got to put it on the side. And like I said, you can't really tell how much juice you have in there. There we go. Because of the windows, they are so small. Now, they say when you put this thing back together, once you've, prime your coil and then let it sit for about 5 minutes. The thing that's nice is this venting system works very well. It's very smooth. The machining quality on this is quite good. And like I say, from startup to when you start vaping right off the bat, it works very well. It's a nice little device. I could see using this when I'm outside cutting the lawn, put it in my pocket. That's the other thing, too. I've had no leaks. I've had absolutely 0 leaks on this. Got a nice drip tip on there. It doesn't fit in the tightest in the world, but it does. You could probably use, well, let's see what we got here. Is interchangeable with other drip tips, which actually, this is the Kanger drip tip, and this is their drip tip. And look at the difference in the bottoms. Kanger has got a smaller bottom down here. Or no, I'm sorry. They have the smaller bottom down there. We'll put the Kanger tip in there. All right, let's go back up top. We'll vape on it, and we'll close this thing out. So don't go away. Okay, we've returned. Let me back this thing out. We'll take the zoom off. And check this out. For such a little bitty device, hides right in your hand. Check out this. Not bad vapor production, and I'll tell you something, the flavor. I'm getting full-blown flavor out of this stuff. I'm really impressed with this little device. Like I say, it's a perfect type of device. You're going to go out, work in the yard, throw it in your shirt pocket. You've got it with you all the time, rather than carrying around one of your bigger mods that you always use. Or if you're, working in the yard, working around the house, whatever, instead of putting your mod down because it's too bulky to fit in your pocket, that's a perfect pocket size. Or if you're going to work, you take along you don't want to take your massive, your monster mod with you. You use that at home. You take this little with you. 2 mil of juice should last you. Unless you're allowed to vape in store or, inside, then you're going to take your bigger one with you. It does have some pros. And the pro is, like I say, number one, the size. The temperature control is kind of unique on this because as you run out of juice and the coil starts to dry up, you'll see that there is less and less power going to the coil. It does work, and it seems to work pretty well. It's got an 1100 mAh battery in it, and you charge it right there, USB charging, and you can use it as a pass-through. I've done that. Now the cons. 2 mil capacity. That's a little light for me because I like my 5 to 7 mil tanks. The slots in the tanks, if you look at these things, you can't even tell that there's juice in there. So unless you're using a very dark juice, these slots just, I don't know, for me, they just don't get it. Filling is a little bit of a pain. If you don't have a syringe, you've got to have, you're going to have a bottle that has a tip on it like that, a very small tip. And that one does fit in there. And one of the other things that kind of fries my cookies is in their manual, they don't refer to it as vaping, they refer to it as smoking. And you'll see the same thing on their website. They refer to it as smoking rather than vaping. That annoys me. Kimsun, get with the program. It's no longer smoking. It is vaping. And you calling it smoking gets the anti-tobacco people all up in arms because they'll turn around and go, see, that they're talking about smoking. And we don't need that. The last thing we need is more grief from these morons over here. Other than that, I like the device. Would I recommend it? For $29, I'll tell you something. If you know somebody that's just getting into vaping, it would be a nice device as a gift. For them to start with, it would be a nice device for a gift. The only other problem that I have is coils. I don't have a problem with their coils. They're vertical coils. They work very well. My problem is I have looked all over their website. I have looked at other places, and I don't know where to get the coils at. It does have battery venting on the bottom. It's got one little hole down in the bottom in the center of that design. There you can see it. Other than that, it's a nice little device. If you want to give somebody a gift, that would be a good gift to give them. I'm sure if you can find a local vendor that's selling these, they'll know what type of coils go in there. That's all I got for you. Hey, this has been Ken for the Information Nation, bringing you more stuff. Hey, subscribe to the channel, give us a thumbs up, share the video with your friends, and remember, in the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Hey, have a great day.